Hello, I am Teacher QA. I am so excited to teach you our lesson for today. These are our content standard, performance standard, and most essential learning competency in the first quarter of English 10. Module 1. Use information from news reports, speeches, informative talks, panel discussions, etc. in everyday conversations and exchanges. Module 1 consists of 3 lessons, namely, Lesson 1, News Reports, Lesson 2, Informative Speech or Talk, Lesson 3, Panel Discussion. After going through Module 1, students are expected to identify the function of each type of exchanges or conversation, explain the different types of exchanges or conversation, note important details, and use the information gathered from the exchanges in everyday life. Now let's get started.
Lesson 3. Panel Discussion. Panel Discussion. A panel discussion is a specific format used in a meeting, conference, or convention. It is a live or virtual discussion about a specific topic among a selected group of panelists who share different perspectives in front of a large audience. The panel discussion is typically facilitated by a moderator who guides the panel and the audience through the event. The panel, typically 3 to 4 experts or practitioners in the field, shares facts, offers opinions, and responds to audience questions, either through questions curated by the moderator or taken from the audience directly. The panel session typically lasts for 60 to 90 minutes. A panel is not a set of presentations, one after another. The panel format allows for a brief introduction and then discussion among the panelists and audience. If most of the panel agenda is centered around presenting information, then just give each panelist a speaking slot with a Q&A after each speaker. A panel is not a one-on-one interview with each panelist. Many untrained moderators simply ask questions of each panelist, one after another, rather than build the dialogue into a conversation, unless there's an interplay among the panelists. Have an up-close and personal interview with each speaker. A panel is not just a Q&A from the audience. When the focus is completely answering audience questions, you have a forum or town hall meeting. Here is an example of a panel discussion. It is about bullying. The panel discusses the issue.
Adults make is telling kids to ignore the bully and he'll go away. Bullying is a behavior that's destructive to everyone, and the effects last a lifetime.
While approaches that simply crack down on individual bullies are seldom effective. Experts say when there's a school-wide commitment to raise awareness about bullying, form clear rules and strong social norms against bullying, and provide support and protection for all students, bullying can be reduced by at least 50%.
Let's see what our team panel has to say about the changing culture of violence.
From past experience with parents, teachers, and school administration, teens have little confidence that bullying situations are handled effectively if handled at all. We understand that learning how to respectfully deal with others is a major part of growing up. But if we don't get bullying under control, what is the future going to be like? So, how are adults part of the problem?
Well, I think mostly with adults, it's either one of two extremes. It's either they don't want to do anything about it because it's trying to make you stronger, or they're trying to take the whole situation into their hands and fix every problem with it. And when adults get into a lot of situations about bullying with kids, they usually end up making it worse for the victim.
A lot of adults are oblivious to the fact that bullying is even occurring. They just think it's the way of life. And I really honestly think that it's a very big problem. And if they don't get on it soon enough, we as adolescents would not be able to continue this way.
If adults or parents are part of the problem and they aren't willing to change, how hard is it for school officials to deal with the issue?
Well, I think you need the parents to back up the school officials. So if the school officials aren't there, then it's nearly impossible to stop bullying on their own. I mean, this is a two-front war, and you can't just do it in the school environment.
I just want to say I think it's a lot up to the victim, because I mean he's got to really stand up for himself. It's kind of like what Zach said, low self-esteem, and I really think the parents should help their kid by giving them encouragement. But I really think it's a lot up to the victim himself to make sure that, I mean, he shouldn't let this kid basically ruin his life. It should, he should stand up for himself, because I mean that's what a lot of people say, stand up for yourself.
Is standing up for yourself also letting an adult know what's going on? Is that part of standing up for yourself?
If you respect yourself enough to realize that there is a problem, then you can take the action necessary to get it solved.
I think it does matter how you resolve your problem, but can you really teach yourself to stand up for yourself? You have to have some type of guidance.
So what effective methods do you think adults can use to help kids deal with bullying and stand up for themselves?
What I was thinking is that it goes back to the school administrators thing, well, the whole school board type thing. All the extracurricular activities that I thought that schools used to have, like all the clubs, dramas, and all those types of things, I think those always help kids' confidence. And when you have kids that have confidence in themselves, it's easier to make friends that do those same things like those clubs. And the more people that are friends with each other, the less chance you have of being bullied. So maybe it's not just parents' fault at the time. Maybe some of these schools and people should start in outside activities,
I believe that high schools and middle schools and now elementary schools, they have a lot of little organizations that get students together, and just having that second family, just having those friends, that really helps a lot of people. Even if you're, the wallflower, you still have people you can relate to and people you can, say hi to in the hall.
So what do you guys think is the best way to help kids cope with the bullying situation at school? You sort of brought in some points about having more clubs. Should schools teach kids about morals and ethical behavior like discipline, respect, confidence, responsibility towards each other? Should that be a part of school curriculum?
I mean, I guess you can bring in the curriculum of teaching respect and such, but, those that already do believe in respect and know how to do it won't take it, already take it to heart, but those that don't take it seriously won't take it to heart, and they'll keep bullying. They'll just blow it off as whatever.
The kids who don't necessarily respect people outside of their home, maybe that's because they have a hard home life. Maybe because it's in their house, it's fight with mom and dad to, survive. I mean, you don't know everyone's situation.
Yeah, you're supposed to listen to your teachers, but, sometimes you don't. But you always, or at least, should always tend to listen to your parents, even if they do, society, teaches them wrong things. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that kids are going to listen more to their parents than to a stranger in a classroom.
I totally agree with you on that, and that's why I think if we're going to teach them at a young age, then we should take it to the parents as well, not just the kids.
Should teachers be required to pass a course on conflict resolution as part of their accreditation so they understand how to deal with the situation?
I personally think teachers should get the accreditation, but to be honest, teachers are very biased. They like to side with the more popular crowd. They don't want to go against the majority because they need their respect as well. So I think that if they establish that in the beginning of the year, that they are the dominant person in the classroom and get the accreditation to, solve any problems peacefully, then that whole problem right there could be eliminated.
Motion, just like a river runs, it pulls out a little dirt at a time and it changes path. We've got to start pushing it a little bit so that the ball will get rolling somewhere.
So going back to schools, they do have bullying policies in place and they do have laws, but why are these policies not working?
Honestly, I could not tell you my school's first rule in bullying. I have no idea.
Our school believes in zero tolerance, which I know, right? Zero tolerance policy, and it is the worst policy I've ever heard of in my life because it does not work.
I think the problem why it's not working is no one wants to enforce the rules. No one wants to take that time and the effort. And when they do take the time and the effort, the punishment isn't fitting the crime. It's picking up trash or staying after school.
Okay, so why do we feel the need to judge other people?
I think a lot of people they feel the need because they go, well, I'm going to, because maybe they feel a little bit insecure about themselves, as a person. And then they go, I'm going to look at that person and point out what they have wrong so I don't feel half as bad about myself.
I deeply believe that people bully other people because they're bored. They have nothing better to do. Because if you had something better to do, like you had to go somewhere, you wouldn't take the time to sit there and make fun of somebody. If you had something to do, like you wanted to do something, you wouldn't be thinking to make fun of another person, I think boredom manifests itself into violence. And violence isn't always violent as in physical violence. It's mental violence. It's emotional violence. It's verbal violence,
Adding on to what you said about they have nothing better to do, a bully, I think when people are busy, they get into more stuff in their life. That really helps when kids are more active in their lives and make more of it, that they can even make even more of it by gaining new friends and not just gaining another enemy to bully or pick on.
Ever since, this whole program, Teens in Action, and we've been discussing the segment bullying, we've all become better people. We've discussed this fact and how much it affects others and how we affect others. And so, like us who have changed, we need to kind of spread the word. We got to eat the burger. We got to get that dirt out of the river. We got to get the ball rolling. We got to spread the word.
That's right. And I really appreciate all of you guys' comments tonight. And I hope that this discussion continues out into your schools and into your family and with your friends. So I thank you guys for being here tonight.
Now let's have a comprehension check. Number 1. What is the main topic of the panel discussion? Answer. The main topic of the panel discussion is bullying. Number 2. Who is the moderator? Answer. The moderator is Colin Duffy Felix. Number 3. How many panelists are involved? Answer. 7 panelists are involved. Number 4. What is the topic of the discussion relevant nowadays? Answer. The topic of the discussion is relevant nowadays because bullying is a major cause of stress and can leave anyone feeling hurt, angry, frightened, and even depressed. No matter your age, race, or class, bullying has infiltrated your life at some point. Bullying has been a major problem in our society. By learning about why some people bully and why others are bullied, you can help yourself or a loved one cope with bullying and develop the resilience and self-confidence to overcome such trauma and have high esteem and channel your life to be in a harmonious place. Now,
Yeah.